Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'd like to talk about concerns I have with World of Warcraft going forward, including Battle for Azeroth, and even going forward from Legion, and my few concerns I've always had with the systems that they have now in place, than just that may not necessarily be the best system for the game overall. So, I would like to mention that this is a podcasty type of video, so the game video playing in the background is simply that. It's game video. You're probably not going to see anything that's interesting at all. Now that being said, let's carry on with the video. One of my main issues with Legion was when they said that they weren't going to nerf classes into the ground, and then they did. So you weren't going to have to worry about your artifact abilities going to useless. So let's say if you were a rogue and they weren't going to nerf, let's say, outlaw into so much into the ground that's unplayable and might as well be hitting the boss of wet noodle. But they did. They did that with Shadow Priests, Surrender to Madness, which I know is overpowered, and then they did it with Fire Mages, just nerfed everything. And I wouldn't really like to see that again with the Azerite system. And that is very possible it could happen, especially when they want you to grind out different Azerite pieces for each spec. So even if, let's say, you're 3 DPS, you play more than one DPS spec. Classically, rogues will play different specs for different situations because some were better than others. Well, I would not like to see that the artifact nerf 2.0, where now suddenly one of your weapons that you spent potentially hours or days earlier in the expansion to grind up all of this artifact power is now suddenly gone in a flash of an eye, in blink of an eye. So maybe I would say, please, if you're gonna nerf a class that's overpowered, don't do it to the point that that spec is unviable. And Blizzard, I know your reaction to nerfing things is making them unviable. That's pretty much all you do. I would have you guys play test a nerfed spec before releasing it, but that's just me. I would like to see that. It's most likely not gonna happen, but I can hope. Another one, I would say the grind, the grindy farm that's coming out with. Like both came out with Legion and Battle for Azeroth. But you could, but you could easily say, what's grindy about Battle for Azeroth? The Azerite system. When you are needing multiple sets, and not even for multiple specs, but for multiple situations, because they also hinted on that you're going to want multiple sets for different situations. So potentially you could have 6 sets of chests. More gear to waste your bag space. Is that what we is that what people really want? Is a guaranteed way of wasting backspace? And then to grind gear and then realize that the gear you got wasn't as good as you thought it was? I don't. I don't think anyone does. Because that sucks. The Azurite system is a good idea. I just, with the added thing of they wanting you to grind out different sets for different situations, I see a problem in that with people that play more than one spec. So, if you have a set, okay, let's say you're specifically a healer. You have a single target tank healing set, then you have an AoE healing set. That's 2 sets for a healer. Let's say you're, and it's just multiply from there. You're already running into 2 sets and for a single healer, and this is all speculation, if it would even be like that. So when you, I just, I'm not gonna like, I feeling people are gonna complain about the Azurite system when it comes out, which I mean they're kind of justified for, because it's a cool idea. The same thing was pretty much all the same things were said with Legion artifact weapons, and then look how people complained after. Um, I just feel it's gonna be a grindy mess. Enough said. The heavily use of repeat content. I know this is a minor complaint, but instead of releasing new content every patch, they're relying on you to do repeat content. So they will, the Mythic Plus system. They released the Mythic Plus system, all that's fine and dandy, but they didn't release a new dungeon. They there was 2 new dungeons in all of the lifespan of Legion, and nothing else. 2 new dungeons. Like, why release more dungeon content? Why not release more dungeon content? Your prize jewel Mythic Plus system was lagging dungeon content. For concern we had nothing. You could have added a new dungeon almost every patch. Well, at least every major patch. And that would have been awesome. But you didn't. World quests. They're gonna show the ugly face again. And somewhere down the middle of Battle for Azeroth, they're gonna be useless again. And the idea of doing the same world quest the 50th time on a different zone is boring. I hope that they cut down on the repeat content. It's the easiest content to make, and quite frankly, it's quite lazy to do. If we rely so heavily on content that is meant to be replayed over and over and over again. I would just like some more original content in the game. I would like more, and this is another one that I don't have on my notes. I would like more battlegrounds. I would like Battlegrounds with new systems in it. Like actual new systems, not PvP brawls. PvP brawls are fun, at least some of them, but maybe actually make new maps as a brawl instead of just altering old ones. That would be awesome. A new map. It doesn't have to have new mechanics. Just at least put a new map that people can sink their teeth into, and it's only a PvP brawl map. I can see that being fun. Just something to excite PvP players. Because it feels that PvP has been the most neglected form of content for years. Literally for years. And I hope it's fixed. I hope they do this. I really hope that the new PvP systems are enticing, are fun. But other than that, I'm going to cut this video off now. This was most likely, I'm just going to call this a rant about current content, or is current max content. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.